The Big E Sports Show.
Yeah, we got it going on.
The fastest hour in sports entertainment. We don't just talk about the headlines. We bring you some of the most engaging and colorful guests each and every episode for your listening pleasure. Now, without further ado, here's your host, Elissa Walker Campbell.
Hey, Elissa Walker Campbell, welcome back to the Big E Sports Show. And it truly has been an exciting month here in December with the first year of the 12-team college football playoff. However, in our next segment, we're going to change things up a bit and hit the hardwood. Always excited to talk some college basketball, and we are thrilled to have joining us for the very first time legendary coach Lon Kruger, who is living the dream, officially retired after an illustrious 45-year career in coaching. Thank you, Coach, for joining us, and I certainly hope we didn't interrupt a tea time because Vegas has some amazing golf venues. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing great. Appreciate the opportunity to visit. Hope all's going well for you.
Absolutely. You know, speaking of golf, in May of 2025, you will be serving as the event chair and founder for the 18th annual Coaches versus Cancer Las Vegas Golf Classic. And it has been titled as A Party with a Purpose, just an incredible event. And most importantly, you are raising money to fight against cancer. Tell us about it.
Well, I appreciate that. The coaches around the country do a great job using their platform to not only raise dollars, but to encourage others to get engaged in the fight against cancer. Early screening is a big message that the coaches are putting out all the time. That early detection is the biggest key in winning the battle against cancer. So coaches do a terrific job, and like you mentioned, 18th year next May 18 to 20, and looking to raise about $2 million during that weekend. And again, the coaches are fantastic. The sponsors are fantastic. Sanford Health out of South Dakota is our major sponsor, and MGM Resorts is our hotel host. So great sponsors, great partnerships, and certainly great work by coaches all over the country.
Yes, Park MGM will be serving as the host. I'm just curious, what golf course will you be playing this fundraiser at? Are you guys going to do Shadow Creek or some Southern Hills?
You're familiar. I understand your son's play. So
Yes, sir.
that's good. Yeah, Shadow Creek, Southern Highlands, Cascada, and TPC Summerlin. We'll have over 300 golfers. So we kind of rotate around over a couple days, and everyone will play two of those four courses, and we kind of rotate that year to year. It's become kind of a reunion with this being the 18th year. So we get boosters from North Carolina, from Oklahoma, from Kansas State, Oregon, all over the country. Coaches bring their boosters in, and we have a fun time, but we don't lose focus on the purpose that we're here, and that is to raise awareness in the fight against cancer.
Hey, if you're just joining us, we have a very special guest, Lon Kruger, legendary and longtime college basketball coach. He's in the College Basketball Hall of Fame, 10 years at my alma mater, of course, the University of Oklahoma. And Coach, you're retired, but you're not out of the game. You're still giving back. And as you're talking about this incredible platform with the game of basketball, but you got some dad time. You're encouraging your son, who is the head men's basketball coach at UNLV. Tell us about Kevin Kruger's program and his Runnin' Rebels.
Yeah, he's starting his fourth year as head coach at UNLV, and loves what he's doing. He's got a passion for Vegas, having played his final year of college at UNLV, and got a good squad this year. They're fighting injuries right now. They've had three of their top 8 guys out all season, so hoping to get those guys back for conference play, but they go to Creighton. Creighton, big win last night over Kansas. So they go to Creighton this Saturday. So they'll have their hands full there. But yeah, he's loving what he's doing. It's much more stressful watching him from the stands than it is on the sideline.
Uh-huh.
I know you, as a parent, I know you feel that when you watch your kids perform and compete. So it's an interesting feeling for sure.
Kevin Kruger played college basketball, as you mentioned, at Arizona State and then transferred to UNLV. Professional, he played from 2007 to 2013. After retiring from basketball, he became a college basketball coach and worked with you as an assistant at Oklahoma. I'm just curious, when did he share that he wanted to follow in his father's footsteps?
Well, he grew up around it, of course, and being a point guard, I think much as I felt. When the playing days ended, I think the coaching was the next best thing, and I think he felt that same thing, and loves every day of it, and has a passion for it, and enjoys working with these guys each day.
You know, Lon, when you were at Oklahoma, you had a reputation of playing up-tempo style offense and in-your-face defensively. Has Coach Kruger replicated this approach to the game with his team, with the Rebels?
Pretty much as most coaches, he'll push it when they can. Hopefully defense will create a little offense, but yeah, it kind of depends on personnel. But I would think he's kind of in that same mold a bit, as most coaches. Most coaches want to push it a little bit and try to create something from their defense, and he's not any different.
Coach Kruger with us on the Big E Sports Show. I'm your host, Elissa Walker Campbell, if you are just joining us. And let's talk some more about UNLV. How did you prepare Kevin and show him what it takes to build a championship team?
Again, he's been around it all his life, so he grew up
Mm-hmm.
basketball every day and watching others compete and coach on the sidelines. So it wasn't any moment where we turned our attention to, okay, what does it take now?
Yeah.
He kind of lived it every day and watched others, not just me, but others as well. And you pick and choose a little bit from everyone and kind of put it into your own plan, if you will. And he's done a good job of, emphasizing the foundation, the basics, fundamentals, and building from there.
You know, Coach, just reflect on how much men's basketball, how much of the game has changed just over the past couple of years, and perhaps just some of the challenges, not just your son Kevin faces, but coaches face in today's game.
It's changed tremendously. Like you mentioned, the last 3 years, it's probably changed more than it had in the previous 20. And interestingly enough, I think the next 3 or 4, it's going to change even more. We don't know what lies ahead, but certainly we need some guardrails somewhere with the NIL and the portal, and hoping to get a little bit of direction, going forward. But yeah, it's interesting right now. It's a different world. It's not so much about relationships and recruiting, but the money now in recruiting, and that's really the most important thing to most of these players. Unfortunately, we're not teaching the relationship side of it or the loyalty side of it as much as we are maybe the business side of it. And now they've got their agents and other people involved and giving input. So different world for sure.
What is your input on the impact of the transfer portal? And is this a good thing for college basketball? Because it seems like, in my opinion, that teams are being destroyed by it.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing for a few of the players in terms of dollars and cents, but I think for the most part, we'll look back on it years from now, and change is good, and certainly players getting paid is I think most coaches are in favor of that, but still, I think most coaches are looking for direction and guidelines to be able to develop a plan going forward. So. I think good in some ways, but I think the amateur game as we knew it is long past, which is okay. But we need to go ahead and make it a professional situation and make it the players right now are not really responsible for very much. It's kind of a year to year, and if they like it, it's good, and if they don't like it, they move on. So
Mm-hmm.
let's pay them for a job they're doing, and if they don't do it well, then pay someone else. I think we need to make it a two-way street more than it is right now.
Well, the transfer portal, no doubt, it is truly changing the landscape of college athletics. What do you think that the NCAA can do to fix it?
Well, that's a good question. Right now, the court systems really control everything, and now that you got the agents involved, so all the lawsuits, and I think when it goes in house, the NIL goes in house next year, you'll see a ton of more lawsuits because someone's going to feel like they're, deprived of opportunity to make more money. So it's I don't know that anyone has the answer right now. They're searching to put it together, but I think they're very much limited by what they can do legally, and make it a win-win across the board.
Yeah. You're listening to The Voice, Lon Kruger. He was a part of the 2022 College Basketball Hall of Fame class. He took his teams 21 different times to the NCAA tournament. Did you know he's with the Gators in 94 and the Sooners in 2016? They reached the Final Four. And let's take time now. Let's pivot and let's reflect on your illustrious career. You had a legendary career. How emotional was it for you to finally say goodbye after 45 years? Can you believe that? The brevity of life, 45.
It passes very quickly.
Yes,
It
sir.
just not long ago, I was a young coach just starting up, and then all of a sudden, I'm an old guy retiring. So, but it was great. The opportunity to get up every day and love what you're doing, and the relationships that come out of it. Absolutely, wouldn't have chosen to do anything else. So. It moved quickly, but yeah, very emotional because once you do something, a routine for 45 years, as you mentioned, all of a sudden it kind of goes from 100 mile an hour to walking around. So, but it's great and fortunate to have Kev still doing it. We got 6 grandchildren, and we knew when our 12-year-old grandchild was born that they would be the reason that we retired, and it certainly worked out that way. We were just missing too much. As tough as it was to walk away, we're missing too many of their activities and their growing up years. So it's all worked out pretty good.
And Mama Kruger, she's probably loving having you home, and she's got a honeydew list for you, right, Coach?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the having me home part of it. I'd probably
Uh
drive her,
huh.
but she we will celebrate 49 years of marriage this December. So she
Oh,
took over
congratulations.
the profession, so it wasn't a big shock to her system. She's the ideal coach's wife and takes care of business and certainly a mother to the 15 players every year. So it was a fun 49 years for sure.
I am a Boomer Sooner gal, so I'd love for you to take some time and just sum up your career and at the University of Oklahoma. What's your fondest memory?
Well, it's the people. It's the people there at Oklahoma. Josie, of course, is ideal
Sure.
AD, just a terrific, the best in the country, and then all the assistant coaches and staff that we had. Renee Forney, of course, longtime executive assistant there, and still doing that for Coach Mosher, who's doing a fantastic job. Great to see his team with the Battle for Atlantis championship last week, and beating Georgia Tech the other night. So we get a chance to follow them, and nice to see how well they're playing and how much confidence they're shooting the ball with. So hopefully that will continue. But yeah, just it's always people. It's we were there, like you say, 10 years, and great people and great players and terrific assistant coaches, and a lot of fun going to work every day.
I got to ask you while we have you on the program, Tom Izzo is turning 70 next month, and he's still doing this at a very high level. Just your thoughts on his incredible career, and he's still going strong.
One of the best for sure. Every year he's got his team ready to compete like crazy in March, and yeah, he's a terrific guy as well as a coach, and certainly one of the leaders in the coaching profession now. And hopefully he can get join up with some other coaches and contribute to giving some direction going forward with the NIL and the portal.
Well, let's get your thoughts on championship expectations in men's college basketball. I mean, can they three-peat? I mean, they've lost 7 players to the NBA just over the last 2 years.
Yeah, they've battled a little bit this year for them, especially. Losing all three at Maui, and then they beat Baylor last night in a good battle. But it'll be a huge challenge for them, no doubt about that. They've still got a very good team, but last year they had 2 top 5 draft picks, so and Dan Hurley does a really good job. So. But they'll be challenged. They'll be challenged this year. They have been to this point, but I'm sure they'll get better as the year goes along, and have that as a goal that not many people can have.
Yeah.
Uh, to win a third one in a row, you have to win 2 in a row first, and not many people do that.
Yeah, no program has done that since UCLA back in the 70s when we just talk about the job that Dan Hurley has done. And I'm sure some folks are expecting that he's going to take his game to the next level and maybe go to the NBA. You did spend some time in the NBA. How did you have to adjust your coaching style in preparation for a longer season and extended travel? I can't even imagine how grueling that was.
Well, no, I did a terrible job. I was so naive and in going in
Oh,
the job. I did was not very good, as indicated by our record. But now we didn't have a great team, but really good experience. Kind of getting fired in our third year is kind of humbling in a healthy way. But no, it's great. We had good people. Players worked at it. They tried hard, and still have a lot of good relationships coming out of that. But it is a longer season. You play 82 games in about 165 days. So it averages out a game every other day. So there's not much practice.
Wow.
There's not that development. But great to see what Oklahoma City's doing. I mean, what a terrific turnaround they've had. They invested in the plan, and coach there does a terrific job, and their teams are fun to watch.
It has been a true pleasure visiting with Lon Kruger, legendary and longtime college basketball coach. He is, as I mentioned, officially retired, spent 10 years at the University of Oklahoma, and turned 70 in August and is enjoying his retirement in Las Vegas while following his son Kevin in his second season as UNLV's head coach. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, and we look forward to catching up in 2025. We'll have to preview the big golf tournament, okay, Coach?
Appreciate that very much. Thank you.
You bet.